But I never want to lose sight of the fact that like I'm living my dream and I get to do this from the minute I touched a soccer ball. Like this is all that I've ever wanted to do and it's all I've ever loved. And so the fact that I get to do it for a living and I get to live out these dreams is just amazing.
All right, so welcome to Pathfinders, a podcast sharing the stories of Portland's cultural creators and the paths they've forged. I'm Marcus Harvey, the owner of Portland Gear. We are proud to be coming to you for the first ever podcast. We've been wanting to do this for far too long. We finally are doing it. We're down here in our office, and I'm with the one and only Sam Coffey. Hello.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It is an honor to have you here on the first ever podcast. The title is Pathfinders, and to us, it's just about people that are kind of emblazing their own trail, creating their own way, and I got to go there with your last name of Coffey. What's your favorite Portland coffee shop?
It's a hard one to choose. I go to Grounded, I would say most often just because of its proximity to the stadium and great coffee as well.
Yeah.
We love Grounded. I would say my personal favorite is probably Case Study. Love some good Case Study.
That's great.
Yeah.
All good. Our old office was up by the stadium, so Grounded. We've actually gone through many iterations of what that place was called. So when you first said Grounded, it was Coffee House Northwest for a long time. So now it's Grounded. There we go.
There's too many good ones to choose from. I loved Esperanza too, that just closed, unfortunately, in off Woodstock.
Sure.
Personal favorite, but now I'm going to have to go someplace
Great.
else.
So what led your path to Portland, Oregon?
The NWSL draft.
Oh!
So I played college soccer at Penn State, and my draft year was very unique in that I didn't put my own name into the draft. They decided for every college senior because of the lack of numbers and people going pro because of the pandemic. So I found out about 5 or 6 days before the draft that I was going to be in it. I had no idea that maybe I'd get drafted, maybe I wouldn't. I didn't really know what was going on at the time. But I just said, okay, like we'll see what happens.
Sure. The goal was to play in the NWSL.
Yeah, the goal was to play in the NWSL or just professionally, of course, but I still knew I had like another year of college soccer left.
Because of the whole COVID.
Yep, fifth year.
Infinite years. Yes. You can stay as long as you can.
Yeah. So I lost my senior year due to the pandemic, so we were given another year, so I knew I wanted to take that. But was that path going to be Europe or was it going to be the league? I wasn't really sure at the time. Sure. But that decision was kind of made for me, and then my name being put in the draft, and it couldn't have worked out any better. Portland was definitely, I would say, the club that stood out to me the most in the list of places that I would want to end up. And believe it or not, got a call from Mark Parsons that night, who's the coach at the time, saying, we want to draft you. I said, great. I would love that.
Great, thanks.
Obviously, there were a lot of details to work out with that, with going back to school and not going to Portland right away. Usually you get drafted, you go. I got drafted and I stayed for the rest of the year at Penn State. So it was just a really crazy roller coaster of a year. It went completely unexpected, but it couldn't have worked out any better.
But you knew where you were going at the end, which is weird.
I knew I was going the whole year, which a lot of girls don't get. Sure. It was amazing, but also very strange to go through my last year of college knowing this is where I'm going next, which is something a lot of people don't get to have. So I felt fortunate to have that. It was hard to manage the excitement of my professional dream coming true, but then still being an amateur college athlete.
Did people try to beat up on you knowing you're about to go pro?
Yeah, they'd go studs up and get my ankles, but no. No, it was just like, it was surreal, honestly, just balancing those two things. But I knew that I had unfinished business at Penn State and I wanted to extend and use all of my eligibility there. It was a place I loved and still love so much. And I knew Portland was there waiting for me, and I just felt really grateful to have that experience.
So when you knew of Portland, obviously, Thorns, all that, what was it that you knew of the Thorns from being on the complete other side? Yeah. Was it the Tobin years? Was it the Lindsay year? What was the period?
All of it. Obviously, those two really come to mind when thinking about the success of the Thorns. I think it's just, as a young player growing up, it just seemed like this standard of women's soccer and the place to be with the supporters, the community, Providence Park, resources, all of it. It just seemed like the greatest place that you could go to play women's soccer or play any women's sport, honestly. Amazing. It was always just this shiny jewel, and I wanted to be a part of it. And yeah, I have no words. It couldn't have worked out any better than it did.
You've had some good teammates.
Yeah. Amazing
I
teammates.
won't ask your favorite, but Sinclair's got to be up there. Having some of these goats, some of these people that have been around for a long time, it's just got to be awesome to come into a situation that already has an established team, great players, captains, people who have laid a foundation, who have forged their own paths here already. That's got to be awesome to come into that.
Yeah. I mean, we have like the most unbelievable team, of course, on the field. You know, when we're buzzing and clicking, like it's electric. And I think the crowd can feel that. We feel that. But I think more than that, we have just unbelievable people and incredible leaders. And coming into this team as a young player out of college, and I'm walking in the first day and I'm like, Sinky's on my left and Becky's across from me, and I had Chris to my right and Kling. And I mean, I could name literally our entire roster. And I'm just like, I'm sharing a locker room with these women like that I've grown up watching and idolizing and loving to watch them play. And now I get to learn from them every day. And I still get to learn from them every day. And that's something I really am diligent in trying to not take for granted, because I know that that's special and that's a gift to have. Again, not just incredible soccer players and leaders, but really incredible people too. And
Sinclair's back.
Yes,
Becky's back.
Yes, she is.
Saw those on IG. They made it. That's great.
Kling too. Yep, she's
Kling.
back. Yeah, they are the backbone.
All right, for people that don't know football to the world, soccer to us Americans.
Yes.
What position do you play, and what does that even mean?
Okay, so for the football connoisseur, I will say I play the 6. They will know what that means. Do you know what that means?
It means you play in the middle.
I play in the middle. So every position on the field is a number. So the 6 is defensive midfielder, so holding midfielder pretty much. So I am in the middle, but I have more of a defensive responsibility than the other 2 midfielders who are more likely to join the attack, get in the box. I try to get up there when I can, but I'm also there to help protect the back line as well as connect our back line and our forwards. It's a position I didn't start playing till I got here, which I think is really awesome.
What were you in college?
I was more of an attacking midfielder, so I'd get up and not worry
Do
about
you run the
back.
least?
No.
Don't the side ones run the most?
Wingbacks run a lot. I would say just generally midfielders, I would say, are probably up there in distance. Obviously, like high speed running is mostly our forwards. Same with backline, like sprinting back toward goal. But generally, our midfielders, I would say, have the highest mileage at the end of a game, because you're doing this. You're just going back and forth, our box to their box, our box to their box. But yeah, in college, I was more of an attacking midfielder, like a 10. 8 or a 10 are the other 2 midfielders.
So Lindsay Horan's a dear friend of mine. What position is she?
I would say she can play all 3 in my opinion, but she's mostly, I would say, 8 or 10. She mostly plays, I would say,
attacking midfield.
with the national team. That's mostly what she's played. But yeah.
Well, now you know. She's a 6.
I'm a 6.
She plays the 6.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your game day ritual? What are we eating? What are we drinking?
I'm not superstitious. I love routine, but it's not like if I don't have avocado toast, I'm going to play terribly.
Okay, so no superstitions.
No.
But rituals.
Yeah, rituals. I love to like sleep in, have a nice morning. I'm a big like mindfulness journal, take some time to, be still in the morning kind of girl. Love to go on a walk, get outside a little bit.
Phones off?
Phone's there. I'm not on it a lot though. I try to be really diligent with like, I don't want to look at social media or like what people are saying about the game or who they expect. I don't care.
Yep.
I'm just focused on, having a great day and a great build up to our game. Maybe I'll go to a coffee shop around me. Just go grab a cup. Anything to just like healthy distractions.
A cup of coffee?
A cup of coffee, yeah.
Didn't.
Okay. You had to. Yep. I understand you had to. It was going to happen at some point. It never goes just a certain way, but I would say just some sort of combination of those things. It's a long day though, because we usually play at like 7:00 at night. So getting up around 9:30, it's a long day waiting around.
I love athletes. I've always been infatuated with sport and team and everything. So give more of a game day. I love like games at 7.
Yeah.
Are you to arena at 3 for a walkthrough? Is there a 30-minute on field alone thing? Like, what is that like 4 or 5 hours before the game? I love that stuff.
So obviously what I just mentioned is like my time at home. And then we usually get to the stadium around like for a 7 o'clock game. We'll get there not that early, honestly, a little later than you'd expect, probably around like 5.
Oh. Do you have a training earlier in the day?
Nope.
You have nothing.
Nothing.
You're free until 5.
Yep. Free until 5.
Yep.
4:35 usually around then. So report to the stadium. I like to get there a little bit earlier just so I'm not as rushed at the stadium, because once you get there, it's like boom, boom, boom. You have treatment. We have a meeting. We have usually for girls that want to, like we'll have pregame chapel or prayer, and then we got it's boom, boom, boom. So you got to get there. So I like to get there a little earlier. We greet the fans outside the stadium and take some pictures. So that takes some time. But yeah, once we're there, it's time to get ready and do what we need to do as a team to prepare for the game. Then we go and warm up around probably 6:15. So usually fast, around 40 minutes before the game.
Okay, so then you win.
Yes.
Then the game's over. What time? 10?
Yeah.
Then what?
Usually around 10. Then we go around, we thank the fans, we do our stuff on the field. Usually we have family and friends come down, we sign more things, people come down to the field. That's always a fun part of post-game win. Recovery post-game, so like flushes, massage,
What's
ice bath.
What's a flush?
It's like a quick massage, like where your muscles are just being flushed.
Out.
Yeah.
I don't need those because I don't really do anything that excessive.
You'd be surprised though. I mean,
I don't know what a flush is. But
yeah, I know it's a weird word, I guess, but
it's just to like.
It's like a quick massage.
Just push blood back or through or something.
Like your muscles are obviously very sore and fatigued, so it's just like getting some manual work done on them. I'm a big ice bath girl, so I usually take an ice bath.
At the stadium?
At the stadium, yeah. Okay. And then I go home, and I get home really late because obviously all that stuff takes time. I usually get home around probably 11:30, midnight. I usually treat myself with some sort of fried food.
Oh.
Like McDonald's is a fan favorite for me.
You just go across the street?
No, not
Why
that
you gotta say it like that? Why you gotta say it like that, Sam Coffey?
No. I have been there before. I have been there before. Every time I go there, I end up buying somebody a Big Mac, and I'm happy to do that because I think that everybody needs to eat.
Everyone needs a Big Mac.
But I
so
usually,
you pull up to McDonald's. I mean, you probably burn 3,000 calories.
I Uber Eats, and I will say post-game nutrition is really hard. Like eating after a game is very difficult because you're fueling the whole day. You're filling your body with fluids, electrolytes, energy gels, all these things. Like your stomach is just this like mosh pit of stuff.
So just moshing some more burgers and stuff at the end.
Well, but then you go out, you exert yourself for 90 minutes, and then you're dehydrated. So then you got to refuel again. But like eating is, a lot of girls get like game stomach. Like after games, they feel like nauseous or they can't eat. And so our nutritionist has always told us like, it doesn't matter what you eat, just eat. So I'm like, great, I will have chicken nuggets.
How many calories do you burn during a game?
I don't really know the exact
number. Or how
many
miles do you run? Don't you guys have little trackers on you?
Yeah, usually mileage for me is around like 8 to 10.
7 to 10 miles.
Yeah, around that.
In 2 hours.
Depends
two and a half hours.
Yeah, depends on the game we play, what kind of game it is, but generally it's around.
I think that's how much Sean's ran in 2 years. In my life. Maybe in his life. Yeah, that's great.
It's okay.
Wow, okay. So you go home, get the chicken nuggies.
Yeah, chicken nuggies, and then I get like
Dipping
a little
sauce.
Sweet and sour.
Okay.
Ketchup, classic. Some fries. I usually never finish all of them, but I have to get a Coke. Like I need. It's a want. It's a need.
Okay.
I feel like resurrected after I have the Coke. I'm like, I'm back.
A little Coke before bed.
Yeah. And also another thing that's really hard after games is to sleep, which the Coke really helps with. Sleeping after games is very challenging. You would think you'd just like knock right out because you're so tired, but the adrenaline of the game, again, a lot of us take like energy things at halftime. I'm drinking a cup of coffee at like probably 5 o'clock. So I'm just like amped. I usually don't fall asleep till 2 or 3.
And then what's the next day?
Usually an off day, which is nice. Great. Yeah. So unless we're on like a really quick turnaround kind of schedule where we have another game we have to prepare for, we have the next day off, and I'm usually horizontal for most of it.
That's great.
Yeah.
These NBA guys, friends with them, and their schedules are just insane.
Yeah. Oh, they play a lot of games.
They play a lot of games. They fly in the middle of the night. So they leave after every away game. So if the game in Denver ends at 11, then it's an hour to do stuff, 12, then it's 30 minutes to the plane,
Yep.
take off at 12:30, 3-hour flight to Portland, land in Portland at 3 a.m.,
Yep.
get on the bus, 20 minutes to the hotel, fall asleep.
Yeah.
Then if it's a back-to-back, depending, so then they have shoot around. So like, right, they go 11 a.m. on the bus to Moda Center, 2-hour practice, come back to the hotel, nap from 2 to 4:30 and eat. Then the first bus goes at 4:30 back to the arena.
Yeah,
Second
that's
bus is at
crazy.
5:30, games at 7, ends at 10, back on the plane. You always fly out after a game. So then
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
crazy.
Yeah. Our schedule is not like that. Obviously, we usually have like a game a week, but even when we're on the road, we fly commercial still. So we're usually like waiting till.
Say the private jet makes it a little easier. I never feel bad for him.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for him. And he's pulling up to the
I don't
Ritz-Carlton
either.
and
yeah, they're okay.
They're okay.
They're okay.
Those guys are okay.
They work so hard, but they're okay. And we're okay too. We are making strides.
Yeah.
But we do get the luxury of having a night's sleep, usually because most flights don't leave till the next morning.
So let's
early.
talk about that. Good segue into making strides in women's sport.
Yeah.
Just the inequities in that's been for decades upon decades, and the lack of adequate pay for professional athletes in women's sports to even be making sometimes not much more than a minimum wage job. I think it's probably less if you calculate the time that you guys put in with practices and everything.
Yep.
And I think it's really easy to see big names and just think everyone's successful. And there's players on the U.S. women's national team that through endorsement deals do great and do fine, but that's 3 to 5 people. Sure. What's it like for the other 98% of a league, especially in the NWSL?
It's hard. It has gotten so much better, I will say. And that is not me insinuating like this is an arrival point for us, obviously. Like there's still so much progress to be made. But I think for the first time ever, like women can, like this can be their career and their career only, and they can live off of that and like have a stable life off of that, between like housing being covered, certain stipends that were given through the club. The CBA and the NWSLPA have fought tirelessly for so many developments in our lives, between the new salary cap, housing accommodations, rights like maternity rights. I mean, there's a million and one things that they have advocated for us with that have made such a difference in so many lives. But like you said, it used to be that you'd have to go to training in the morning and then go to your second job later in the day.
Stories. Players on the team.
Yeah.
I know. I think player pay is public or something, but there's people that make $30,000 to $50,000.
Minimum, I believe, is around $36,000 to $37,000. So that's
$37,000
league minimum
is what a woman in sport in the United States at the highest level makes as a professional athlete.
Yep.
$38,000, which I believe is not much more over minimum wage.
No, it's not.
I think if you calculate $15 minimum
and you
wage in the state of
calculate the
Oregon
time.
and
And this is not an ordinary job. This is a job that, in the best way, consumes your entire life. And it's like what you do off the field, what you do on the field, the decisions you make when you get home, what you eat, what you drink, all like, I mean,
that's not a cheap lifestyle to maintain the health you need to make that 38
it's not a desk job, right?
grand.
Like you are the women of this league and female athletes and all athletes, I would assume, like you pour yourself into your craft because you want to be your best. And that if you are fully committed to it, it takes all of you. And so to have that sort of compensation for something you are giving your whole life and heart to is, we're not there yet. But again, I mean, the league minimum used to be, I don't even know, like
maybe was
10 or 20.
There
are horror stories throughout the league of what it used to be. And I think that's what feels exciting about where we are now. And a lot of women that are on league minimum are like their housing is covered. So rent's not a factor. So they are able to save in different ways. And there are so many incredible strides that have been made. And I think we do have to take time to celebrate those and feel proud of those, to recognize how far the league has come, but it is not an arrival. Like we are still pushing for better for everyone.
I would hope in 5 years that the minimum is $100,000.
I hope so
and
too.
I think things are trending.
Yep, things are trending.
I mean, it's just it's hard because we all just see the Thorns sell for $60 million.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get it. Like I'm a business person. I understand it. I understand team valuation and time and everything. But it's like, you guys are essentially the employees that make the organization make the money, and to be making that, I get all sides of it. I get all sides of it. So
it's never that simple.
I get it.
Right.
It's just, you guys deserve to make more.
I am not disagreeing.
I like watching women's soccer more than men's.
Me too.
Much better. You guys are more talented. It's better. I love it.
Direction though. And the women we have in this league, the support that we have, the advocates that we have, like this is the best time for women's soccer. It really is. And it is going in completely the right direction. And I have no doubt, like you said, that in 4 or 5 years time, like that league minimum is not going to look
like going to be rich.
I hope so.
Rolling. So new ownership here in town, and they're committed to you guys. Yeah. They're committed to making your own practice facility. They're committed to you guys as an organization. I feel like from the very beginning, from the first time you guys met them, they've just made an effort to make you guys feel more valued than possibly previous ownership has, and are making adequate investments, not only in the team, but in the whole, like you said, the whole surrounding of that stuff. So hopefully if you guys can't make more money, the team can support through more facilities, food, treatments, things, so that you don't have to be taking your money and paying for those things as well.
Absolutely.
But you've already felt it.
We have already felt it.
Great.
And the Bethal family is incredible. And they have come in, after what's been a challenging, I think, last few years for our club and the city in many ways, and have just expressed their belief in our team, in our community, in this club, in who we are and already what we've done, which is win championships and be successful and be the standard, but to now keep driving that and to continue to push to be the best, not just nationally, but globally. And we know that they are so committed to doing whatever it takes to make that happen. And just listening to their vision, listening to their passion, and getting to know them as people has been really incredible, because I think they are go-getters and they have those business brains, like you understand.
What a story, right?
Right, but they're really incredible people too, and they are kind and humble and down to earth. And it's not every day that you encounter ownership like that, ownership groups like that. And I think the fact that they're so clear about what their values are and how those are going to influence the club is something, as a player, makes me so excited and thinking about like this page that we're turning in our story. So I'm just really excited.
It's emblazoned on the stadium. Onward.
Forward.
It's great.
Yeah.
How has kind of the city and culture, already only a few years here, how has that kind of shaped you as a person, or your style, or your way you live, or the way you're coming from East Coast.
Yeah.
Fast life, different vibe, different personalities, everything. And now you're over here on the laid back West Coast, and it's a little rainier, and it's a little slower. Yeah. Has that been easy? Has that been enjoyable? Has that been delightful? Has that been hard?
Oh, I've loved it. And I'm from New York, so it's like, get out my way. If you're not walking fast enough, I'll bump right into you and get in front. Yeah. So, I love New York with all my heart. Like I miss home all the time.
I think I love New York, and I've only been once.
Yeah. There you go.
There's just something about it.
There is something about it.
There's something about it. There's something about Portland too, but
there is something about Portland too. I always had a feeling that like the Pacific Northwest would be a great place for me to live. Like from the time I was in high school, I was like, this place just, I feel called by it. And here I am. So I love the lifestyle out here. Like I love the nature. I love the natural beauty, the community. Obviously, like when you talk about the club, I think about, the Riveters and our supporters, and their passion is just unmatched. Like I've never experienced anything like that. Like obviously, as a college soccer player in different settings, like you have fans and you have people who love your team or whatever it is. But like I've never witnessed a group of people care for something and care for a team the way that our supporters care for us. And that's not just like what happens on the field. It's how we're treated off the field. Things that happen from a club standpoint, like in the media, all these things, like they are so passionate about us, and also passionate about our safety, passionate about our health, passionate about what we deserve.
And they're loud.
And they are loud.
And they will let you know.
And we love it. Oh, yes, they will.
Let
and
everyone
I love it.
know.
I love it. I think the fact that our club has this relationship with its supporters group, where do you see that? Like, I think it's so amazing.
It's a tit for tack. And
look,
it
can be challenging sometimes, and it's not always easy.
That's what turns into progress.
Right.
If it didn't have it, it would just be.
Exactly. And I think they are such a key as to why the club has been held accountable in a lot of ways and why hard things have happened. Like they refuse to be silent on things that they can't be silent about. And I think just like principally as a human being, it'd be easy for them to show up to games and just cheer and go home. But things go wrong, or things do not sit right with them, or things do not meet the standard of the club that we have and what we say we are and who we want to be in our community. And they're not just going to accept that and settle for mediocrity or for any actions that don't align with the standard that we're being held to. And I think they have such a love for the club, such a passion for the club, that they like demand that it be held accountable and that it be the best and do the right thing in every situation.
It's kind of a question for me too, but why do we think that constituent of people cares so much? Like, no one asked them to. Like, what is it about a Portlander that makes us care so much? I mean, New York, they care too. They're loud. They're sports teams, like they'll stand, but it's like in talking about, like, I know all that.
Yeah.
I see it. I hear it. When other teams talk about Portland, they talk about this. But like, why did we get that? Or like what was it about the team in the early years that made that happen, or the people? Is there a trait that they all like?
I mean, I think when you think about Portland, like, we're not exactly the biggest sport city, right? Like, we have different professional sport teams that have had success and have also not had success. And I think when you have this female team that in many ways was like a trailblazer, and that was a poor choice of words.
It's good. No, I like it. I like it.
Revolutionary for its time, rather. Maybe I'll put it that way. No pun intended, but very revolutionary for its time, right? Like, the Thorns were one of the first women's professional teams in the NWSL, the first team to win the league in the first year that the league was started. One of the earliest teams just to experience success at the time that the league was really still like finding itself. And I think that there was something incredibly alluring about that, and something that drew a lot of people to come and support the team in that. And I mean, and again, I've only been here, this is now my third year, so I don't know half of it, but it's like, I can imagine experiencing that roller coaster and that kind of climb to the mountaintop, like, so exhilarating for our supporters to be a part of, because I think what makes our team special is that they are a part of it. I don't think that's the case in every club. It's like, we're here and you're there. But I think with our club, we are one community and we are one city. And that is something that we're all proud of. It's not like they're this separate entity. Like, we consider them a part of who we are, because they are. They're an integral part of who we are. So
yeah, I wonder if it's almost just that we, in a physical and a literal sense, like, we gave space. Yeah. So it was a big stadium, and we just let people, like the Thorns have played there for a long time, much bigger than what any NWSL team in those early years ever had. So it was the fact that they just had space.
Yeah.
So they had physical space.
Yeah.
And then they had mental and emotional space in the city of Portland to just be yourself and to express. Yes. And then the team just gave them space to be themselves. And it's just like, it's almost like it was, I mean, I'm sure it would be a fascinating interview to talk, like, who was the first person? And it always starts with one. So was it one person that stood there at the first game and that turned into 2 people and 3 people, and those 3 people had a common interest, and then that turns into 10 and 50. But I just wonder what it, like, to me, and just knowing Portland and being born and raised here, like, it probably just felt like they had a space. Yeah. Unintentional, probably, by merit or ownership or whatever. It's just, they were allowed to be and yell and say what they want. And then that turns into people like, I want to be able to do that. And now that's turned into a whole, and with the Army too. You know, it's just like that stadium and the teams have given people space.
Right. I think I think you're absolutely right. And I think there is also a level of pride that comes with wearing our jersey and representing the city. I think I'm not from here, and I already love it like I am. But I know that the city has been through a lot, and that it's been a roller coaster in many ways, that it's been through hard things and has been the punching bag of many
presidencies,
maybe one particular presidency or just many years of just like turmoil and hard things. And I I think people see us and we offer a light to them, and we offer something that they can be proud of. And not, of course, like, people are proud of the Timbers and the Trailblazers and other teams around the area too. Like, no doubt about it. I think there's something unique about the fact that we are a women's sports team and that we've been very successful and that we're not even scratching the surface yet, and that we represent like the best of Portland and the best of what Portland is, and that we can be sort of this light, even amidst a lot of darkness. And that's darkness within the city. That's also darkness within our own club. A lot of darkness within our own club that we are now reckoning and having to.
We are now going towards the light.
We are, and we're turning the page. And I think I just feel, I can't tell you all that I feel when I step out on that field and I see
a roar.
Just, it's like addictive. Like I am obsessed with it. Like, it's incredible just to stand out there. And even, for me, the national anthem is a big time where I just like take it in and just get myself focused and, just take it all in. And I'm like, this is rare. It's rare. And I'm so grateful to be a part of it and to feel it and experience it. And we want nothing more than to continue to be that light for people and to continue to be just like this, this silver lining in, I think, what's been a hard history, both as a city and as a club. And we can't wait to just turn the page to this new chapter.
Even now, but I think more so a few years ago, there was NWSL road games that were essentially in like high school stadiums, right?
Baseball fields,
like
high school
3,000
stadiums.
people. And it feels like a college game, if not less than.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like, we in Portland, I think, take for granted that Thorns have this big stadium and everyone goes and we just know the Thorns. But Louisville or other town, like there's stadiums that are, even Seattle before they played at the big stadium, like they were just in kind of bleachers. It wasn't a lot.
And I think what's so exciting is it's not just us going in that direction. It is every club in the league. Now, it's like there are standards of what is acceptable and what's not anymore. And like, we are all going to adhere to them, and we are not, we're not settling for a turf baseball field where half of the field is dirt. And you can see the plate marks and you slide into them and you're bleeding all over the place. So there are standards that we deserve to meet, and we're not just going to accept crumbs. And I think that is what gives me so much hope and excitement about our future, is like, we are a league of women who are just not going to settle for hand-me-downs or what a men's team did or whatever. Like, we are going to revolutionize what women's sports is about and what we deserve. And we're not going to stop until we're given those things. And there will never be an arrival point or a point where we settle. Like, I think it's just this constant push for more, which is so exciting.
I feel like for you, after a very long, illustrious career, you're going to work in women's sports
Probably.
You're already there.
I'll get back to you.
I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. So beyond the field, how do you go and engage in Portland? What do you do? Are there causes you love? Are there things what gets you out of the house? Do you and the girls go and shop Hawthorne? Do you guys walk around? Like, how do you exist in Portland?
I'm a big, I love getting out and doing things. I love like trying new restaurants with some of my teammates, or going, like I said, I love anything outdoors. So I'm a big like nature girl. Let's try new spots. Let's go hike this. Obviously, hiking on one off day that you get every 2 weeks.
Go get another 7 miles on your off day.
No, none of that. But like if I have, if I have the whole day, like I'll drive to the coast, I'll drive to Hood, I'll go sit, with a beautiful view and just take it in, or go on a nice stroll. I feel like I'm in this incredible part of the country that has no shortage of just like, obviously natural beauty, but also just like incredible things to do and see. So I'm constantly trying to add new places to my list.
So what's the restaurant of the month right now? Or what was the last stop?
Let's see. Last stop. I really want to try Con.
I knew you were going to say it.
Is it everybody's? I feel like it's everybody's right now. I haven't
incredible.
been. I hear it's
and
unreal.
The fact that you can't go makes you want to go more.
I know. I've tried to get a reservation, and it's like, try again in
40
when
years.
Your contract's up. So
have someone make a call for you.
I did go to. Is it Shalom. Y'all?
Shalom, y'all.
I think it's Shalom,
Excellent.
y'all.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Just down
really,
the-
really
great.
good. Really good. I loved it.
Shalom, y'all's great.
Yeah, there've been, I will say, like, our team is, this is kind of embarrassing. Our team is addicted to bamboo sushi. And it's like, it's clearly a chain. Obviously, it's not this, cute little, but
No,
it
was born and raised here.
it's really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Which
We go all the time.
location can we find you guys at on a Thursday night?
I'm a personal fan of the 23rd location. Just beautiful street vibes.
So I'm walking in, and who are you sitting with for bamboo?
I will say Shelby, Hogan, and I are
You're
addicted
just down in green machines and
all the time.
Great.
Spicy tuna albacore, crispy rice, tuna poke.
right.
Yeah. So you'll find us there.
Okay. Where else will we find you? Do you drink much? Are you a drinker? Off season? You going to bars?
I'm not a
Hit the club scene?
no.
'Cause we don't have one here, so you're
I
probably
was
not
going
hitting
to
the
say,
Portland
are
club
there
scene.
are there
You're not
clubs?
hitting the club scene here.
I will say, I love bushwhackers.
That's gonna be a reel right there.
I love
Sam Coffey
bushwhackers.
loves bushwhackers.
And I will say, like, I'm not.
I love bushwhackers too. I've gone twice.
I really don't. Like, I have a drink like here and there. I'm not going out every night, or when we have a day off, like I'm not going clubbing.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm obsessed with it. It is so.
You get out there and boogie, boot scoot and boogie and line
I
dance.
want a
and
boogie, but I don't know all the dances.
You just gotta throw yourself out there.
Yeah, but then
Someone
you
will
get
teach
kicked
you.
off if you don't know the dances. Like, I've gotten kicked off before because they're like, you don't know. I'm not
So you're
there doing
supposed to
like,
wait around the pen and
but
watch
then
them?
they start the Cotton Eye Joe. I'm like, I know this one.
You know that one.
Yeah.
So don't
Or the
kick me out of
Cupid
this one.
Shuffle, but they don't have like free dance time. I would love to just
You want
go
free dance?
Yeah.
At Bushwhackers.
Yeah, I would love like if they did an hour or something where we can just go out and like there's no area for the amateurs. It's only like the girls
The
in
guys
their
that are
cowboy
just
boots.
swinging
Yes.
the ladies around.
Swinging.
Just hands on hips, just moving them.
Yeah, like
I get very intimidated when that happens.
I
don't think my wife
me
would want to
too.
do that.
But even like the signs on the doors or on the walls in there, it's like cowgirls enter through here. I'm like, perfect. I'll go that way.
Okay, so we're
I
all
just
going to go
think
to
it's awesome.
Bushwhackers.
What?
We're all going to go to
Yeah,
Bushwhackers.
let's do it.
So there's a new bar here in the Pearl called Cuties,
Cuties.
and they're doing honky tonk nights on Thursday nights.
Ooh.
So they bring in this old school, really fun DJ, and they're
Okay.
doing honky tonks on Thursdays.
I'm gonna have to check that out too.
And it's in the Pearl, so you don't have to go all the way to
Yeah.
Bushwhackers, but maybe a little more inviting.
Yeah,
maybe
it
you don't.
is.
Maybe it's only for. I
It is a
think
little
it's
intimidating.
only for amateurs at Cuties.
Perfect.
I think
Perfect.
honky tonk night is you can't be serious.
Yeah, that's great because
come
it
on
is a
down.
little intense for me. Like there's just cowboy hats and like I'm not. Yeah, I love the vibe. But
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
We're good. We're a big vineyard team too. We like to go out to some
Great.
vineyards in
So
the
where?
area. Compris is one that we like. Is that
Okay.
how I say it? I think.
Up on the hill, or out in wine country.
I think it's out in wine country. Yeah, there's Amatero.
That one's
up
up
on the
there.
hill. Yep. Kelly Hubley's a big fan of that one.
See that?
Yeah, big fan of that one.
She a little wine member up there.
Yeah. She's a wine member, I think,
They
at a
open
lot
the
of
door
places.
for her and they say,
oh, yeah.
"Come
She
on
has
in.
a lifetime
Come on in."
membership.
Great.
Yeah, there's just so much to do and see here. So obviously, like today's an off day for us. Like we're tired and you don't always want
And
to.
you're here. We appreciate that 1st and
So
foremost.
happy to
Thank
be
you.
here. Yes.
That's
But,
great.
There's a balance between sometimes you just want to chill, be horizontal, not do anything. And then, go out, see what the city has
Mm-hmm.
to offer. There's so many amazing things to do and people to meet. So I love just like being able to discover more within the community and meet new people and, try new things. There's just so much to see and do.
It's great. So we'll head into the 90th minute here.
Okay.
Is that a nice little football play right there?
That's good.
That kind of means the end. We're heading into
Stoppage time.
Stoppage time. We're going to head into stoppage time here. So your background, you writing, journalism, you come from a lineage of it, went to school with it. So we can get into it. You don't have to. But as a writer and athlete, what kind of legacy are you hoping to leave both on the pitch? I got that. On the pitch and on the streets and in real life.
That is a
I
profound.
think you already kind of did your presidential speech, so I think we know you're going into some sort of something. But
Yeah.
how, do you want to be known as the greatest athlete of all time? Do you want to be known as a disruptor? Do you want to be known as someone who stood up for what was right? Do you want to be someone that left a wake of change? Like, what is it?
I think, of course, as an athlete, I want to be like the absolute best soccer player that I can be. And that's my every day that I wake up. Like that is my why, is I want to just be like the best version of myself and the best player, teammate that I can possibly be. And I say that I can possibly be because I think it's easy in this field to just constantly fall into comparison and who you are in comparison to other people. And like, I want to be my best. And I hope that can become a world best. I hope it can be, something great, but it's just like, it's me focusing on being the best version of Sam. And for me, that just takes focus away from like the outcome of things and how things are going to go, or what rosters you make or don't make, or what games you win and don't win. And it brings you back to like the journey of pursuing your best self and like this journey toward excellence that I think so many of us are on. And
that journey has taken you to the U.S. women's national team.
Yes, it has. And
fucking cool.
It's awesome. Yeah.
So how many call-ups have you had? How many camps have you had now?
I don't know like the exact number. I think I'm at like, I don't have many caps. I think I'm at like maybe 7 or 8. So I'm still starting off.
Amazing.
And yeah, I was able to score my first goal last year, which was so fun. But similar, like same thing in that environment too. Like I constantly want to just be my best. And I don't ever want to lose sight also of the joy and fun in that journey. Cause I think so many of us are just striving for more and more and more. And what new levels can we reach? And like, that's an athlete's mindset. I have that same mindset, like, of course, but I never want to lose sight of the fact that like I'm living my dream and I get to do this. And this is, from the minute I touched a soccer ball, like this is all that I've ever wanted to do. And it's all I've ever loved. And so the fact that I get to do it for a living and I get to live out these dreams is just amazing. And I never want to lose sight of the gratitude and joy in getting to do that. And like the process and the journey and the refinement that comes with that. So
where's the next World Cup?
I really shouldn't. I don't think they know yet.
Was it announced?
I don't think so. You might have to check me on that.
Well, we're going to watch you there, right?
I certainly hope so, yeah.
I hope so too. What legacy would you like to leave specifically on Portland? And that can be one and the same, but is there something that's more specific? I mean, we root for our teams hard, even though we're not a huge sports city, but we believe in our athletes. We love them.
Yeah.
Is there a Sinky legacy you want to leave? Is there
I mean, no one, I mean, there have been so many incredible legacies that have already been left. I mean, obviously Sinky still has a year, but we can anticipate, of course, what that's going to be like. Yeah, I think for me, when you take things off the field, when I think about legacy, I kind of simplify it, and I come back to a quote. I'm going to quote Maya Angelou.
Please.
It's going to happen.
About time.
And it's not going to be verbatim, but pretty much she says, people will forget what you do, and they'll forget the things you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And for me, when I think about myself as a person, myself as a player, like that feels so front of mind, because I think, again, it's easy in this profession to just focus on like the trophies and the games won and the accolades and all these things, which are well and good. But I also want to be someone that is a light to the soccer community and brings things that maybe it's missing sometimes, like joy and love and inclusion and kindness. And I think it's a cutthroat business, and that's part of what we love about it. But I also want to bring all the things that feel true to me to whatever setting and whatever environment that I'm in. And so I just love that quote, because I think it just takes you beyond like the athletic level of things and into like who you are matters, and your character matters, and things you say matter, and things you do off the field matter. And for me in Portland, I think that also I want to help be a light for the community too, and just continue to be someone that is always proud of wearing this jersey, and loves every second of getting to do it. And it's something that I never take for granted, and I never will. And I mean, for me, this is where I want to be. This feels already like home. And yeah, that's so special.
Speaking of wearing the jersey, you're wearing our new Letterman jacket Valentine's thing. So I'd be remiss to say, so we're here on the Portland Gear. This is our new jacket coming out for Valentine's Day. And we thought it was perfect to have you as kind of Valentine's is flowers and roses and love and stuff, but it just works well with the thorns and everything.
Totally
so
does.
You're rocking the Valentine's jacket. I think we only made 100 of those. Pretty cool. That's our gift to you. You get to keep that. How cool is that? So thank you for being on the podcast.
But I wasn't going to be greedy.
No, of course you get to. So the last question here, I'm going to say one word.
Oh gosh.
And you just say the first thing that comes to mind. Portland.
Love.
Oh, way to round out the Valentine's Day pod. That's amazing. Love for Portland. Portland loves you.
Just like, yeah, I think love of the hardship, love of the amazing times, love of the club.
Love the club.
I believe this jacket has a great little message on the back.
It does. May the roses remind us why the rain is so important. We've lived through 6 months of crap to have beautiful, and we've had a lot of rain the last few years.
It's so true, though. And I think, we can bring that in from the perspective of the city. You can bring it into the perspective of the club. Like, there's been a lot of rain, but there's going to be a lot of roses, and that's so exciting. And I love that. And I love being able to play for this community, play for this team, be a part of this club, and specifically, like, be a part of the page that we are turning and what this next chapter is going to hold, because I've never felt like we are more of an open book right now than ever before. And it's like, these pages are unwritten. I feel like I'm quoting Natasha Bedingfield, but
the rest is still unwritten.
The rest is still unwritten.
Is still, Natasha,
it really is. So.
Throw one up.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being our first ever guest on the podcast. You were
Thanks
perfect
for having me.
We appreciate you. Thank you to Sam.
Thank you for having me.
Yay!